This is the real story behind the biggest lie ever told about your eyesight and the tiny seed that science says might help age-related macular degeneration and your aging eyes more than carrots ever could. 80 years of belief, all of it rooted in wartime propaganda. People still think eating carrots holds the secret to good vision, and that belief stuck hard because nobody questioned it. Modern research, though, tells a very different story. The nutrients your aging eyes actually need, specifically the macula, the part of your retina responsible for sharp central vision, do not come from a carrot. They come from a seed so small that most people walk right past it at the grocery store without a second thought. What we are covering today is the real science, meaning the largest eye health studies in history and what they actually found. We will get into which nutrients your retina is starving for, and why one seed, flaxseed, carries more clinical evidence for eye health than almost any other food sitting in your kitchen right now. We are also going to be straight with you because a lot of what floats around online about seeds and eye health is exaggerated. When your vision is on the line, you deserve facts, not hype. So let us get into it. Section 1. The biggest lie about your eyes. Before we talk about what actually works for your eyes, we need to understand how an entire generation got fooled by a vegetable. During World War II, the British Royal Air Force developed a secret technology called airborne interception radar, and for the first time in history, pilots could detect enemy bombers at night without ever seeing them. That changed the entire war. But the British government faced a serious problem because they could not let the Germans find out about this technology. And that is when the Ministry of Information invented a cover story. They told the public that their top night fighter pilot, a man named John Cunningham, nicknamed Cat's Eyes Cunningham, had extraordinary night vision from eating massive amounts of carrots. 20 confirmed kills belonged to Cunningham, 19 of them at night, and the propaganda turned him into a national celebrity. Lord Woolton, the UK Minister of Food, took the lie and ran with it, creating a cartoon character called Dr. Carrot and pushing the slogan, quote, "A carrot a day keeps the blackout at bay." Two purposes drove the campaign. Hiding the radar secret was one, and encouraging citizens to eat homegrown vegetables during food rationing was the other. By 1942, the story had crossed the Atlantic after the New York Times London bureau chief, Raymond Daniel, spread it to American readers. Just like that, an entire generation grew up believing carrots could give you superhuman eyesight. A grain of truth does live inside the myth, and that is what makes it so sticky. Carrots contain beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, and vitamin A is what your retina needs to produce rhodopsin, the protein that allows you to see in low light. Severe vitamin A deficiency genuinely causes night blindness, and eating carrots can reverse that specific condition. But here is what the propaganda left out. Once you already have enough vitamin A in your system, eating extra carrots does absolutely nothing for your vision. Your eyes will not get sharper, age-related eye diseases will not slow down, and damage that already exists will not repair itself. Researcher John Stolarczyk spent years investigating this myth using Imperial War Museum files, and what he documented confirms it. The carrot eyesight connection amounts to a massive wartime exaggeration of a modest nutritional fact. Section 2. What your aging eyes actually need. Carrots are not the answer, so what you need to know is what is actually happening inside your eyes as the years go by. Nearly 20 million Americans over age 40 carry some form of age-related macular degeneration right now. 1.5 million of them have vision-threatening late-stage AMD, and the numbers climb fast with age, going from about 2% in your early 40s all the way up to nearly 47% by age 85. Among Americans over 65, AMD remains the leading cause of irreversible blindness. This happens when yellow deposits called drusen build up under your retina, damaging the photoreceptor cells that convert light into the signals your brain reads as vision. Dry eye disease hits over 16 million diagnosed Americans, with another 6 million experiencing symptoms but walking around undiagnosed. After age 75, your chance of developing dry eye reaches nearly 19%, and women face roughly twice the risk that men do. Often this connects to blepharitis, inflammation of the eyelids that disrupts the oil glands and tear film stability. 24 million Americans live with cataracts, and by age 80, more than half of all Americans will develop them. Glaucoma affects 2.7 million people, while another 2 million carry it without knowing. $139 billion. That is the estimated annual cost of vision problems in the United States. The U.S. eye drops market alone topped $5 billion in 2024, and those numbers keep climbing every year. The answer to what actually protects your eyes comes from the two largest eye nutrition studies ever conducted. the age-related eye disease studies known as AREDS and AREDS2, both run by the National Eye Institute at the NIH. AREDS launched in 1992 and enrolled 4,757 participants under the direction of Dr. Frederick Ferris at the National Eye Institute. October 2001 brought the results, showing that a specific combination of vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene, zinc, and copper reduced the risk of advanced AMD by about 25% in high-risk patients. And that is when AREDS2 changed the whole conversation. Led by Dr. Emily Chu at the NIH, this follow-up enrolled 4,203 participants at 82 sites across the United States, with results published in JAMA in May 2013. Two findings from AREDS2 rocked the field. Beta-carotene, the very nutrient in carrots that everyone protected their eyes, turned out to be dangerous for some people. Former smokers who took it saw their lung cancer risk jump by 82%, which meant beta-carotene got removed from the formula entirely. Lutein and zeaxanthin, nutrients found primarily in dark leafy greens like kale and spinach, stepped in as safer and more effective replacements. Participants who took lutein and zeaxanthin without beta-carotene showed an 18% reduction in AMD progression and a 22% reduction in the wet form of AMD compared to those who kept taking beta-carotene. Stop and absorb that for a second. The carrot nutrient was not just weaker, it actively harmed certain people. Meanwhile, nutrients from leafy greens delivered real protective benefits. That finding alone should change how anyone thinks about food and their eyes. Section 3. Your retina is starving for one thing. There is another nutrient your eyes are desperate for, and this is where seeds enter the story. Your retina, that thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye converting light into signals your brain reads as vision, depends on omega-3 more than almost any other tissue in your body. A specific type of omega-3 called DHA makes up over 50% of the fatty acids in your retinal photoreceptor membranes. Over half the fat in the part of your eye that detects light consists of DHA. Without enough of it, those photoreceptors cannot do their job properly. And here is the problem nobody talks about. Over 90% of Americans fall short of recommended omega-3 intake levels, with the average American consuming only about 86 milligrams of EPA and DHA per day from food. Researchers recommend 500 milligrams or more. The gap between what Americans eat and what their eyes need is enormous, and most people have no idea. Section 4. The tiny seed with real clinical evidence. Among every seed studied for eye health, including chia seeds, black seed, and fennel seeds, flaxseed carries the most clinical trial evidence, specifically for dry eye disease. No other plant on Earth packs more omega-3 per serving. About 57% of flaxseed oil consists of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that fights inflammation by reducing pro-inflammatory molecules called cytokines, specifically IL-1 alpha and TNF alpha. ALA can improve the function of your meibomian glands, the tiny glands lining your eyelids that produce the oil layer of your tears, and it helps stabilize your tear film, the thin layer of moisture protecting the surface of your eye every time you blink. The clinical studies paint a clear picture. A 2007 clinical trial published in Arquivos Brasileiros de Oftalmologia tested oral flaxseed oil capsules at 1 to 2 grams per day in patients with Sjogren's syndrome, an autoimmune condition that causes severe dry eye, and the researchers found reduced ocular surface inflammation along with improved symptoms. 85% total relief. That is the number ophthalmologist Dr. Borner reported in a large observational study following roughly 200 patients over 3 years, all of them taking 2,000 milligrams of oral flaxseed oil daily. Most patients saw their symptoms resolve within about 2 weeks. Now, this was observational, not a controlled trial, which means the evidence quality sits lower on the scale, but results like those turn heads. A 2020 multi-center, double-masked, randomized trial published in the Ocular Surface tested an artificial tear formulation containing flaxseed oil, and over 90 days, patients using the flaxseed-containing drops showed significant improvement in dry eye symptom scores, tear breakup time, and ocular staining compared to control drops. Then in 2023, an open-label randomized clinical trial enrolled 268 subjects and compared flaxseed head-to-head against omega-3 capsules over 3 months. Both groups showed increased tear production on the Schirmer test, improved tear breakup time, and meaningfully reduced dry eye symptom scores. Across multiple studies, the pattern holds. Flaxseed, whether taken orally as oil or applied in eye drop formulations, delivers measurable benefits for dry eye symptoms. Other seeds come up a lot in these conversations, so here is what the science actually shows. Black seed, also known as Nigella sativa, contains a compound called thymoquinone with some interesting laboratory and animal results behind it. Researchers in 2018 tested topical thymoquinone on mice with experimental dry eye and found anti-inflammatory effects comparable to a steroid medication. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Cellular Neuroscience examined thymoquinone's effects on AMD, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy, concluding that it works through anti-inflammatory and antioxidative pathways. A 2025 systematic review confirmed that Nigella sativa reduced intraocular pressure in animal studies. But here is the catch, and it is a big one. The researchers themselves concluded, quote, human clinical evidence remained limited, end quote. Not a single large human trial exists for black seed and any eye condition. Chia seeds sit in a similar spot. Despite being rich in omega-3, 0 peer-reviewed clinical trials have tested chia seeds for any eye condition, and every claimed benefit traces back to general omega-3 research rather than direct evidence. Fennel seeds brought in one animal study from 2008, showing they could reduce eye pressure in rabbits by 17 to 22%, which sounds interesting until you remember that rabbits and humans are not the same thing. When you line up the actual clinical evidence in human eyes, flaxseed stands alone among the seeds. Now, I promised you honesty, and this is where the story gets uncomfortable. 2 major studies threw cold water on the entire omega-3 and eye health conversation. The DREAM study stands as the largest and most rigorous trial ever conducted on omega-3 for dry eye. Published in the New England Journal of Medicine in April 2018, it ran under the direction of Dr. Penny Asbel at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, with the coordinating center at the University of Pennsylvania under Dr. Maureen McGuire and funding from the National Eye Institute. 535 patients with moderate to severe dry eye entered the study, randomly assigned to receive either 3,000 milligrams per day of fish-derived omega-3, meaning 2,000 milligrams of EPA plus 1,000 milligrams of DHA, or a placebo made from refined olive oil. 27 U.S. centers participated over 12 months. Blood tests confirmed 85% of patients were actually taking their supplements, and EPA levels quadrupled in the omega-3 group. None of it mattered. Omega-3 supplements performed no better than the placebo. 61% of the treatment group improved and 54% of the placebo group improved too, a difference that fell short of statistical significance. Dr. Asbel put it plainly, quote, the results of the DREAM study do not support use of omega-3 supplements for patients with moderate to severe dry eye disease, end quote. What nobody expected, though, was the placebo problem. Olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal with known anti-inflammatory properties, which meant the placebo itself may have been treating the condition. Both groups improved from baseline. Optometrist Dr. Paul Karpecki pointed this out, saying, quote, the fish oil treatment arm had a phenomenal statistical improvement from baseline, so fish oil does work and it is very effective. But why did the placebo arm work too? End quote. AREDS2 delivered the second blow. That trial, remember, also tested omega-3 in the form of DHA and EPA for preventing AMD progression. The hazard ratio came back at essentially 1, meaning the omega-3 group progressed at exactly the same rate as the group receiving no omega-3 at all. A 10-year follow-up published in JAMA Ophthalmology in July 2022 confirmed the same result. Dr. Emily Chu, who led the study, reflected, quote, that the omega-3s had no significant impact was somewhat surprising. Was there truly a lack of efficacy, or did we not get the right dose? Are we starting too late? End quote. Section 7. So what is really going on? Smaller studies on flaxseed show benefits, and the largest supplement trials show nothing. Those two facts seem to contradict each other, but the explanation lies in the details. Meta-analyses, which pool data from many studies at once, tell a more positive story than any single trial. A 2023 meta-analysis covering 19 randomized controlled trials and over 4,000 patients found that omega-3 supplementation significantly improved dry eye symptoms, tear breakup time, and Schirmer test results, with the best outcomes tied to higher doses, longer treatment, and a higher percentage of EPA. A 2024 analysis published in Frontiers in Nutrition pulled together 26 studies covering over 241,000 participants and found that high dietary omega-3 intake significantly reduced the risk of AMD at every stage, whether early, intermediate, or advanced. 258,000 individuals contributed data to a major 2025 UK Biobank study that confirmed higher blood levels of omega-3 and DHA correlated with reduced AMD incidence. Here is the distinction most people never hear. Omega-3 consumed through food consistently shows benefit in large population studies. Omega-3 taken as isolated supplement capsules has repeatedly failed in the biggest clinical trials. That gap between food and pills matters more than almost anything else in this conversation. Ground flaxseed eaten as part of a whole food diet delivers fiber, lignans, and ALA working together in a complex nutritional package. A supplement capsule delivers one extracted component stripped of everything else. The science says these are not the same thing. One more wrinkle specific to plant-based omega-3 deserves your attention. Your retina needs DHA, not ALA, and your body converts plant-based ALA into DHA at a rate of only about 2 to 5%. Some studies report as low as 0% net DHA increase from ALA supplementation alone, and the Omega-3 Institute estimates you would need 25 parts of dietary ALA to provide the equivalent DHA rise from just 1 part of direct DHA consumption. Flaxseed delivers genuine anti-inflammatory benefits that help with dry eye symptoms, and it belongs in an eye-healthy diet, but calling it an efficient way to get DHA directly to your retina would be misleading. Section 8. What to actually do with this information. Time to bring this together with advice you can actually use. 1 to 2 tablespoons per day of ground flaxseed is the target, with each tablespoon delivering about 1.8 grams of ALA. Start at 1 teaspoon and work your way up. The flaxseed must be ground, and this part is not optional, because whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system completely undigested, giving you nothing at all. Keep ground flaxseed in the freezer inside an airtight container to preserve freshness. Flaxseed oil capsules work too, at 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams daily, which matches the range used in studies. Keep the oil refrigerated and never heat it. Chia seeds run 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. But seniors need to hear a safety warning. Dry chia seeds can cause esophageal blockage, and there are documented case reports of this happening. Always pre-soak chia seeds in liquid for at least 10 minutes before eating them, which matters even more if you have any swallowing difficulties. Drug interactions come next, and this part could affect you directly if you take medications. Blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin, or Plavix present a moderate risk because both flaxseed and chia can slow blood clotting. So watch for unusual bruising or bleeding and talk to your doctor before starting. Blood pressure medications combine with flaxseed's own pressure-lowering effect, and flaxseed can specifically interfere with metoprolol absorption. Diabetes medications like insulin or metformin face the same issue in reverse, since both seeds can lower blood sugar and raise the risk of hypoglycemia. This next one catches a lot of people off guard. Thyroid medication like levothyroxine gets blocked by the high fiber content in these seeds, which means you need to separate your thyroid dose from seeds by at least 4 hours. As a general rule, take seeds 1 hour before or 2 hours after any oral medication because the fiber and mucilage content slows drug absorption across the board. Lignans deserve a mention too. Flaxseed holds the most concentrated dietary source of these phytoestrogens, and research suggests they may actually protect against hormone-sensitive breast cancers in postmenopausal women. That said, anyone with active estrogen receptor-positive breast cancer should talk to their oncologist before consuming flaxseed regularly. Stopping flaxseed at least 2 weeks before any scheduled surgery is also recommended. Section 9. What seeds cannot do. Your safety depends on understanding where seeds hit their limit, so let me be direct about what they cannot do. No seed on earth replaces medical treatment for serious eye conditions. Sudden vision loss could mean a retinal artery occlusion or a stroke, and you need emergency care within minutes. Acute angle closure glaucoma brings severe eye pain, halos around lights, and nausea, all of which signal a medical emergency. Retinal detachment announces itself through sudden floaters, flashes of light, or a curtain-like shadow across your vision, and it requires urgent surgery. Wet AMD demands anti-VEGF injections, costing anywhere from $2,500 to $12,000 per patient per year. Temporal arteritis, which triggers headache, jaw pain, and vision loss, can cause permanent blindness if treatment comes too late. Flaxseed will not address a single one of those conditions. Annual dilated eye exams for everyone over age 60 are what the American Optometric Association recommends. Eye doctors themselves keep the expectations grounded. Dr. Rebecca Taylor, an ophthalmologist quoted by the American Academy of Ophthalmology, put it this way, quote, "Most Americans can and should get enough nutrients through their diet without needing to take supplements," end quote. Over at the Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Richard Gans went further, saying, quote, "You can get the vitamins you need through your diet, and there is little evidence connecting vitamin supplements with improved eye health," end quote. The AAO recommends the AREDS2 supplement formula only for people who already carry intermediate to advanced AMD. Everyone else gets the same guidance. Eat a Mediterranean-style diet rich in leafy greens, fish, nuts, and seeds. The AAO specifically notes, quote, "Antioxidants are most beneficial when consumed organically from fruits and vegetables and other whole foods," end quote. Now let us reach our conclusion. Let us circle back to where this started. Carrots as the key to good eyesight, that whole idea traces back to a lie invented in 1940 to hide radar technology. Beta-carotene from carrots was not just overrated for eye health. It got pulled from the official eye health supplement formula because it raised lung cancer risk in former smokers. A tiny seed repairing your eyes better than drops. That overstates the evidence. But a real kernel of truth lives inside the claim. Flaxseed carries legitimate clinical evidence for managing dry eye symptoms and provides real anti-inflammatory support. And as part of a whole food Mediterranean-style diet, omega-3 rich foods consistently show benefits for eye health across large population studies. No single food repairs your eyes, and that is the honest answer. Good nutrition, regular eye exams, and proper medical treatment when you need it, that combination protects your vision. Skip the miracle food chase. Eat a diet built on leafy greens, fish, nuts, and seeds, including ground flaxseed. Get your annual dilated eye exam, and ask your eye doctor whether the AREDS2 formula makes sense for you. Your eyes have carried you through decades of life, and they deserve better than propaganda and hype. They deserve the truth, and now you have it. If this helped, share it with someone you care about. I will see you in the next one.